Ahoy, hoy, and good morning to you. I hope you're all well on this bright sunny morning. It is 2 minutes to 6 o'clock. I'm up and I thought, while it was still on my mind, before I forget, I'd do a quick short video about the tournament at the weekend, the Norwich Spring Open skill ball that we attended, and how it went. So in one of my previous videos you would have seen the lineups or the players that I was planning on taking. So obviously, as you can see in front of you, I took Scalpel, Dirge, Silence, Graves, Mist, Ghast, Cosset and Bonesaw, and I stuck with the same six for the whole game, the whole tournament, which was these guys. I'll just take these guys out. Overall, I finished the day 3-1, which I was pretty happy about. 3 wins, 1 defeat. The first game was against Bucket. I believe it's Bucket is his last name. He played the Masons. Jon Bucket, sorry, what am I talking about? Jon Bucket. I have to say, well done to the guy. That was the best, most fun game I've had at a tournament. It's not to say that I haven't enjoyed other games, but it was just played in a really nice spirit. It was really good fun. He had his Masons. He took Honour, Mallet, Flint. I think he had Chisel and Brick. If I've got that wrong, I apologise, John. He loaded up for the Mallet missile on turn 1, got into my lines, missed the goal on 3 dice, and Mist then got a goal in response. Mallet was a bit isolated and got taken out. I think Flint got a reply goal, then Mist got another goal, and I took someone out. I can't think who it was. Oh, Flint. Oh yeah, that was it. Flint got taken out early doors. Yeah, that was it. Scalpel did really well. She went in, engaged Flint, took him out. He was at the other end of the board. Mallet to the missile, missed, got isolated, got taken out. The ball worked, F3 missed, up to the other end, scored. Flint got the ball, got a return goal, and then the ball ended up back up the other end and Scalpel scored. Scalpel just did so much movement in that game. She was awesome. Brilliant. I think John was really surprised at how manoeuvrable she was. That was the best performance by her, from takeouts, assists. She was taking out one turn, assisting the next turn, then up the other end of the board, engaging Brick the next turn. So brilliant. That was a really fun game. Second game was against Daniel Harwood. And that was just an absolute lesson. He schooled me. I take my hat off to him. I don't consider myself a particularly good player. I'm all right. I mean, I got 3-1, so I finished 5th overall, so I didn't do too badly. But he just schooled me with Hammer. Played against Hammer once before, and he's been really apologetic about it. It totally shouldn't be. It's a tournament, dude. You're there to win, and it is a slightly sadistic way. I enjoyed seeing him performs so well, Hammer performing so well, and people talk about him being broken, and he's not broken. He's quite linear, but you just have to know how to manage him. Like in the next round or later on in the day, Parker played him and just kept putting blind on him and kept setting him on fire, and then he just couldn't do fuck all. I was talking to Dan the other day, and I think actually going forwards, maybe a better inclusion for these really nifty players would be someone like Casket with a heavy burden, because Hammer's only 3-1, so he's going to get the heavy burden off. He's then -4 to his movement. That would be a way to control him, and that's something I need to think about in future. That possibly, if I knew I was playing Hammer, I think Casket would come in, because I did think after I'd said that I was going to take Cosset, actually I'd probably prefer to take Casket, but I would stick true to what I'd said. So anyway, yeah, Hammer, and again, we set up. I received the ball, I'd done all of my measurements, I'd mapped out my turn, I think Hammer's got a 10-inch threat and everyone was either at 10.5 or 11, and like Dan said, he was sweating because he had 6 influence on Hammer and there was nothing he could do with it, and then I got a rush of blood to the head and went and scored and missed, completely forgetting that then forgetting or not realising he had Flint to activate before Hammer. So off Flint went. Got the ball, passed to Hammer. Hammer dodged 4 inches forward. Boom, there he is. He was in my line. He was now in threat range as he went into silence and shut him down. And then I put Dirge into him at the start or the end of the turn just to try and, my thinking being that maybe he'd take 2 to 3 of his influence next turn, he'd lose the momentum, it might put him in a bit of a hole, but he just smacked the bird into a pile of feathers and then scored a goal. So that was 8 points in 2 turns. I managed to get a return goal. Oh no, sorry, Mist got the goal, the ball was kicked out, and then I didn't think it through. And again, this is where Dan played it really well. He capitalised on my mistakes. The ball was free, and I sent Garst in a knockdown hammer, a knockdown Mist. Even though I had Mist in my team, I completely forgot about where'd they go. I was thinking, right, I have to spend a point of momentum, stand up, he'll leave, he'll get knocked down again. But no, of course, he stood up, where'd they go, had just enough movement to go get the ball, get into position and scored. So, absolute lesson. I think I've never played a game that was over so quickly at a tournament. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty confident. Dan had about 33 minutes left on his clock, and I had about 35. So we finished and everyone's like, it's over? I was like, yeah. But well done to him. That was brilliant, and it was a really good lesson actually, because I hopefully won't make those same mistakes going forwards. Now I've seen what Hammer can do, because if he's doing an activation like that, he's using 8 of their influence, so if you can in any way shut it down, if I had got silence to maybe shut him out, and then Scalpel could have gone and redistributed the influence. And he'd also played it really well that Hammer had got himself into a position where he could have been isolated, but he managed to where'd they go, missed him, so he was close enough for Hammer to leech his influence that he needed to get things done, and it was just really well played. Dan, I think, I was talking to him afterwards, and I sort of got the feeling from the way that he plays War Machine, and he has, so that's one of the reasons I think he did so well with the leeching and the positioning of players, 'cause that's an aspect of War Machine. But yeah, so that was really good. Although I got absolutely schooled 12-4, still really enjoyed the game. I mean, I was at an absolute shell shock from what Hammer did, and that cost me as well. So I made 2 mistakes. Dan didn't win the game because of that. He won the game because he played better than me, and he capitalised on my mistakes that I made. So those 2 mistakes of scoring the goal early, letting him dodge Hammer forwards, and then not getting the ball and moving it away, they were my mistakes, and he capitalised. So the third round was luckily for me, the only negative game experience I had. I know some other people, unfortunately, for various reasons, didn't enjoy the day. But and that was against our good man Spoonie and his engineers, and it's not a reflection on Spoonie as such. It's just every time I play the engineers, it just seems to be, I don't know, the way they play, all the ranged shooting and everything. It's just a bit of a grind. I find either they get the ball and hide it, or just shoot you from distance. It just doesn't. I don't know. I like to play football in teams and move the ball around, and I look at the engineers and I think they've got all this kickstart and quite manoeuvrable, some of their players, but I just never see it. And maybe just the way we play it in the local area, I don't know. I'm hoping to play an engineers plays them differently one day, but it just seems to all be about knocking you down at range or doing damage at range, and Spoonie, I don't know, he gets the ball and then doesn't do anything with it, which is, I don't know why he does that, because he took 4 points off me in fairness, which is the most that he's taken off me, and it's now 48-6 to me. But he took Blister, Mainspring, Salvo, Ratchet, Gutter and Rage. Didn't really do anything with Gutter. She got the ball a couple of times, and in the end she died to give me 2 VPs. Mainspring died to give me 2 VPs, and Mist got 2 goals. I think Mist did get a goal in every single game, at least one. Yeah, there's not really a lot to say about that game other than Minefield's fucking pain in the arse when that's deployed. You've either got to commit and go through it, or you just sit there for a turn taking another round of shooting, and I don't know. I kind of, part of me wants to play the engineers to see if I can play them differently to that, but then I don't know if I'd just fall into the trap. Maybe that is the way to play them, I'm not sure. I'd be really interested to know what people think about that, and if other people have got different ideas and experiences on the engineers, because I don't want to be negative on them because all the other teams are really good, but whenever I play them, I just find it a grind and I don't enjoy it. So I don't really have anything else to say about that game other than they just clumped up, shot, I got into them, knocked some of them down, got the ball, scored. That's about all I want to say about that one. And then the last game was against Lee, who's another member of 2D6 like John. We've got a little bit of a team rivalry going on now between the Battlehammer and 2D6. I think we might get a trophy made up for bragging rights, which we're probably not going to get our hands on except for when we hand it over for the first time, but hey ho, there you go. So Lee, who's Nation of Lee on the Twitter, he had Shark, Angel, Siren, wow, Siren, got some big love for her now, Jack, Salt, and I can't remember, Grayscales. Which was interesting, no Sakana. I think Sakana's awesome. A little surprised about that. I've never seen Siren on the table before. She is awesome. He kicked off with Siren. And then I got the ball, moved the ball, passed to someone, and then boom, Siren moves up. Or Siren did her lure or seduced, whichever one it is that allows them to make the pass. Got the ball passed to her. She then passed it back into her team to Angel and then jogged back to her lines. Brilliant, really impressed with that. Angel, what a striker she is. Super shot, 10-inch kick. She managed to get a goal, which I think put it 4-0 to Lee. Then I got the return. I think I got a return goal to that with missed. He then, can't remember the exact order and things happened, but essentially I won the game 12-8. With I took Siren out because fish are squishy and she was causing me problems. I only took Lee scoring with Angel twice straight down the middle, doing the same thing for me to figure out that I needed to stop that. But even when she's engaged by two people with super shot up and a bonus time, she's still got 4-10 kick. It's ridiculous. She's awesome. But I think what cost Lee in that game is that I'd managed to get Mist got his second goal and then repositioned. He kicked the ball out and I can't remember if he got an unlucky scatter or exactly what happened, but it ended up in the scrum. Somehow I got it with Gast. Oh yeah, that's it, he kicked out. It snapped to Gast. He went in with Jack around the area. I'm not sure if it would have made that much difference, but he then did Jack's heroic, which then pushed all of the players out. But it also pushed Gast over to the left-hand side a bit so that he could then pass it to Mist, who scored on his next activation to win me the game. But it largely came down to it was 8-all with the ball in open play, and something happened some way or the other that basically that was it. It was end of turn. So that was the last activation of the turn. Gast had the ball. I won initiative, and for once I finally got Silence to do something critical with his shut out and tucked. He shut out Shark, who had 6 influence on him, which was, if Shark had got to have gone, he was going to score. From where he was with the influence he had, he was going to score. So Shark couldn't do anything, which then left Lee with possibly not quite enough influence anywhere else to put pressure on the ball, and it allowed me to control the ball, get the ball to Mist, and score the goal to win. Really enjoyed that game. A lot of banter, a lot of silliness, which is the way I like to play. Really got an itch for the fish now. Got a fishy itch. I've sort of been thinking about them for a while. Does mean I have to paint up another team. So if someone wants to volunteer to paint up some fish for me if I pay for them, you can get in touch, because I really like to play football as opposed to going for the takeouts, and obviously I don't think there's a more footballing team than the fish. So that was really good, that was great. Scalpel overall did really well. Silence pulled it out of the bag when I really needed it done. Gast wandered around and just knocked stuff down, which is brilliant. Graves, I think I'm still using him wrong. I'm still using him more for damage. I need to use him to go put pressure on the ball with that tackle on one and the 3-6 kick. And Mist just scored goals, which is what Mist does. So overall I finished 5th, Parky finished 6th, so I am now the captain of the Battlehammer, as the highest placed Battlehammer. But actually it's only basically on name because we got exactly the same points. Ben Allen won. Russell George came second, and Dan, who played the Masons against me, came third, and well deserved. I thought he was going to be a good shout for winning. Straw picked up the spoon, which was brilliant because they needed some more cutlery at home. Tara did really well in her first tournament. She got fastest goal with Flint, which is brilliant, which is, I think, was about 70 seconds faster than Parker got his first goal. Really enjoyed using the morticians. Again, got to meet some lovely people and meet some people we know from other tournaments, like Ed Halliday was there, which was great to see him. Stu Phillips from Paranoid Miniatures was there. Obviously Peter Sullivan, Farrell Sullivan, who's got more last names than I know what to do with. He was there representing with his awesome haircut as usual, playing Esther's. Great to catch up with him. My mate Dan was there. He, from Ye Olde Battle Reports, their first outing at a tournament, and he won Best Painted Goal, which was really nice for him to get something like that, a bit of recognition in his first tournament. So yeah, I think overall most people had an enjoyable experience. There was a few comments that have been made that I think were taken on board, and speaking to the pundits, things that are being looked at. But overall, very positive day, and really enjoyed it. So looking forward to the next one, which is Hastings next month. So I'm going to take the Morticians again, but I'm going to change it up a bit. I think I'll stick with Scalpel. I'll predominantly stick with the same team, I think, unless I get a chance to play some more games in between and try something a bit different. Maybe Rage and Casket will step in. I'll maybe try and use Bonesaw a bit more. I really want to use the big guy, but I just find I can't see. I don't know. I need to do it. I need to do it because I don't want to just use Mist all the time. But Mist's just so good. He's so manoeuvrable. He's just so janky. He can get everywhere. And with Scalpel, you've got two players who could just end up in a completely different position to where they start the turn. But anyway, I want to leave it there because I want to keep this fairly short. So thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments the review of the tournament, what you thought of it, how your experiences were, what you learned, what you enjoyed, how you think you did, anything like that. So as usual, thanks for your time, and hugs and kisses to you all.